Hello. I have just realised I'm not in the right voice chat. Now you should be able to see me. Hello everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of me being El Presidente for the glorious country of Sordland. Hope you are all doing well on this fine Wednesday evening. I know I am, even though late. I know, I'm sorry, Sarah. Even though I'm expecting a bad case scenario on Friday, but I'll probably do this in the result video. But I'm just expecting it to be a Burnham win, probably by a few percent. Max probably 6. Restore, I'm still expecting around 5% or less, but you know, we all have to look forward to that, so we'll try not to press ourselves tonight. I don't think I can make you less angry about today, Glory of Death. I'm going to try and avoid talking about it as much as possible, because I've not really been involved in the rape gang inquiry conversation. That's probably the stream demonetised, because frankly there are better qualified people out there to talk about that than me. But it is absolutely amazing how what effectively it has come down to is every pro-restorer, like loads of them are now getting into Holocaust denial about it and saying the grooming gangs are way worse than the Holocaust, which just on every metric is completely wrong. But aside from that, even, you know, they're going with this, so there were definitely 250,000 girls raped, and it's just, that's if you extrapolate Rotherham, which was one of the worst ones, to every town in Britain. One, it didn't happen in every town in Britain, so that's already a problem. And 2, where there were other grooming gangs, they weren't as bad as Rotherham, but anyway. Presidente, I didn't vote for you. Well, if you were Sordish, you will have. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much about the inquiry. Am I going to make a video on it? Probably. I don't think I will, to be honest. I think as I say, other people have written up on it already in a much better way than I could cover it in a video. So, you know, it's not great. That's all you really need to know. Anyway, we're probably going to be a little bit angrier come Friday anyway, but yeah, if that's what people want to do, just shut out and ruin any sort of right-wing work that's been done by actual patriots, so be it. But I will say, if that's going to be a trend moving forward, the right absolutely deserve to lose. £5 from GooseSpringsteen. Watching England, but I look forward to watching this in tears later. I've not even bothered with the World Cup this year, to be honest with you. I've just got... I usually have a bit of interest with international tournaments, but this one I've barely even seen it on Twitter. So it's... there's nothing really pushing me to try and follow the football, but there we go. I've no idea how we're doing. I don't even know if we played a game yet. I don't even know if we played 3 games yet. I know it's still in the group stages, but still, we'll see where it goes. Anyway, there's 8 of you now, so let's get into this. Let's hear my outrageous accents and forget about the real world for a bit. Oh, we're playing Croatia. It just came up on my phone. There you go. Oh god, we had a final with them a few years ago that we lost like 1-0, I want to say. I can't remember. It didn't go to penalties anyway. Right, where are we up to? Let's check the old newspapers. Old Sword Post, Tourism and Culture Preservation Act signed. That's the last thing I did. Ooh, and the Radical are happy, which isn't good, but oh well. Briefing on the results of the Reform Committee. Okay. I came a little early to the meeting room before anybody showed up. We had scheduled a meeting to discuss the progress of the Reform Committee regarding the new constitution. I took a seat on the centre chair in the vacant meeting room as I waited for them to show up. The reforms were slowly becoming the most significant expectation of my government. We will be changing the Souls Constitution of 29. Most people nowadays blame the Constitution for outstanding problems of the country. On the other hand, reformists in the Assembly had been getting louder about their demands. What I knew for sure was that I needed to do something about this encroaching chaos before it swallowed me. 2018 2-1 loss. Well, I was right about the goal difference. Meanwhile, Lucian, Peter, and Nia had been leading the committee to prepare for the initial draft for the constitutional amendments. I was intrigued to hear the results. Knock on the door, and it was Lucian. Good afternoon, sir. Lucian arrived exactly on the hour mark again. His punctuality could almost be described as obsessive. Are you waiting behind the door to come at the exact right second? Yeah, I'll ask him that. I'm sorry, sir? He seems to be arriving at the exact second is all. Punctuality is important for me, sir. I'm just doing my job. He took a seat on the table and took out a bunch of documents, spreading them on the long table. We should begin the meeting as soon as Mrs. Morgna, the Vice President Vectorn, arrive. We finally have some results from the Reform Committee. How does it look? Well, the situation is quite complicated, but I'm sure we will make work of it. Yes, I'm sure we will make it work, just like we accomplished many things before. We'll go over the details regarding the new constitution in the meeting. A few minutes later, Peter and Nia also arrived. After a short chat, everybody sat down and took out their notes. I knew it was going to be a long meeting. There is a lot of talk about the future of this process. Let us begin to tackle the points of contention. I've just realised while I'm doing that voice, I'm doing a French V, because he looks a little bit like V. I think that's what I'm doing there. I think there's a subconscious link in my brain making me do that. Mr. President, our committee meeting were really fruitful, and we already started working on the constitutional draft together with the reformists. Clearly sorry for £20. You are too kind, Cero, but I assume this is for Deus Ex. Had a long day with ultimately a good outcome, immediately followed by a scare with one of my dogs, though I think she's okay. I am going to go on a bat, Cero, and assume I know what that good outcome is, so I will say congratulations to that, but I'll leave it there. Also, I've been watching Clarkson's Farm and definitely need reform. Seriously, lastly, Mankind Divided. Right, Mankind Divided, that's on the next set of 3. There you go. We're getting the £20 in for the next games, boys. And if you're only at Defra de Lend Arrest with Clarkson's Farm, I'm not even joking. I was actually shedding tears in the last episode. I thought I was pretty bad with the pub one, because I was like, oh god, this is getting uncomfortable to watch, and then it all turned out alright in the end. Yeah, Clarkson's Farm Season 5, no spoilers, but I was shedding tears. I will say that much. Anyway. They demand a little too much, but we've had success with Friends Richter to create a realistic draft that could potentially go through the Supreme Court. And I guessed right. Well, congratulations, sorry. A little. They demand to rewrite the whole constitution. Mr. Richter's deputy even suggested removing the term sword from the constitution completely. What the frick? I also didn't like their theatrics, but the requests were definitely not outrageous. They were just not realistic about it in today's political circumstances. Nevertheless, Mr. Vice President, thanks for your convincing arguments. We seem to have reached a common ground already. If we can fully reach an agreement with the reformists, we will be very strong in the Assembly to propose the change. Can we reach 2/3 majority in the Assembly? Is it possible to pass the Supreme Court? Oh yeah, the Supreme Court need that as well. They are the biggest obstacle. Even if we pass the Assemblies, the Chief Justice will do his best to block our amendments. We need at least 6 of 11 judges to vote for the proposal, but Mr. Harker has enormous influence over the judges. We should reach out to the judges in secret. Some of them might be willing to break rank to support us. One sec. Oh, I need water. All means to be considered in order to succeed. They will surely support a just cause for the country and its future. Yes. Lucian looks sceptical. Yes, I said that as a sort of joke. According to the Constitution, I am a member of the Supreme Court, which means we already have 1 vote. 2 of the judges are friends of mine, and of similar opinion about the reforms. You can consider them with me. So we have 3 votes out of 11. Who else would be willing to support? I'm sure the rest can be bribed. Who else is willing to support? I think Judge Edmonds can be persuaded, and in extension Mr. Dalton and Mr. Martin. They weren't really blinded by the Solist ideology. Yes, those three don't seem to be working directly with Chief Justice Hawker. If we can get to Isabel Edmonds, we might get the 6 votes needed. That's our best bet. Right, lovely. Can we reach 2/3 majority in the Assembly? If you get Franz Richter to work with you on this, our only problem will be uniting our own party. We'll never be able to get the National Front to work with us. We need the majority of our 130 seats in the Assembly to vote in favour. With the leftist full support of 70 votes, we will easily surpass the needed 166. But it will be tough to unite the USP. With all the divisive wings that they have formed, you must make them follow you loyally. Oh, we did it before the elections, we can do it again. Albin Calvin? No way. Albin Clavin. That would be a really stupid name. Albin Clavin and his reformist wing would be supporting you. He already weighed in heavily in the committee meetings. However, the Conservatives would be tough to break. The influence of Sol is still living strong in your party. Well, that's not ideal. We will eventually remove his influence. How many votes do you have? Do you think they can be... Yeah, do you think they can be persuaded? I'm sure it's possible, but regardless of my opinion, we need to persuade most of them to support us for passing an amendment to the Constitution. And there is only one person who is key to make them back us. Gloria Tory. She is well respected by the Solists. She'll be our biggest obstacle in the Assembly, and her demands will be excessive. I also have reason to think she might be in Ozol's pocket. She will be tough to break, but we need to help her get the Conservative support. There you go. Go on then, what are the demands? We should run down each of the main demands of the committee. And get your input first. Mrs. Morgner, can you explain them further? We'll start with the first red line. The new constitution will fix the loopholes regarding the president's absolute veto powers. Even though Mr. Richter put a whole show on about why vetoes should be completely removed, the committee has also almost unanimously agreed on fixing the loopholes, thus limiting presidential vetoes. My suggestion is to add a clause detailing the methods, and the Assembly may override a veto with some sort of supermajority. One person should never be able to block the rest. I stand in agreement with Mr. Richter, the veto should be removed. Loopholes give the president too much power. They will not be allowed to dictate the negotiations. I kind of still want the veto. This is my problem. It's that thing of once power is given, it's very hard to give up, I'm learning. But, you know, what if I'm pretty sure something that's been voted on is monumentally stupid? You know, what do you do about that? We'll see what happens when I say no. This is one of the starting points of the whole discussion about changing the Constitution. I don't think this is up for discussion for any reformist. The second one is about the judiciary. The new constitution will remove the Supreme Court's right to veto on legislation. This is yet another point that was unanimously agreed on by all parties. Sol established this rule to protect his 29 constitution. We all know most of the judges are still his pawns. Constitutional amendments will still be very difficult to accomplish with the reform like this, particularly because we will keep 2/3 vote system to be able to propose a change. However, the judiciary will not have the final say in the amendments. This is what we already wanted to do, can't disagree with that. We need the court to even pass this change. Why would they support this? That's a good question. Most of them would, but we already talked about my vote and a possible agreement with Isabel, which may change things. Apart from these two critical points, they have other major demands. They want to reform the appointment procedure of the ministers. Richter clarified that the Assembly should have a say in the formation of Council of Ministers. God, I hate democratic reformers like this. Ugh. Thank God for Britain. Excuse me, I'm just yawning a sec. There we go. That is something a majority in our party also support. Well, Mr. Richter also talked about abolishing the Member of Honor rights of Tarkin so that gives him absolute immunity and makes him a permanent member of the Assembly. Well, that one is a controversial one. I doubt the USP would like that. Immunity of the Justices, the impeachment of the President, limiting powers of presidential decrees, all this came up during the committee meetings. Yes, the reformists expect big reforms while our faction in the USP are not very keen on pushing changes that are too great. I'd say keep everything in the middle ground is the safest bet. No need to agitate anyone too much. I disagree, push for comprehensive reforms, let's keep the changes small and manageable. There are valid concerns we need to look at. No, let's keep the changes small, I want to keep my veto! As long as we address the main issues, I also agree. Well, regardless of what Mr. In decides, we will need to work together to push the agenda. Now we have a better picture of your intentions, sir. I will start reaching out to my contacts to make a draft that works for us. I'll present your input to the committee. In a few months, you will have the draft on your desk to make final changes yourself. Oh no, mate. When you draft something up, 2 days to redraft it to the final version. Not even 2 days, sorry. Even that's overdoing it. A lot of you, I hope, know what I'm referring to, but yes. Oh, first draft done yesterday evening, now we're releasing it, you know, the next day. Great. I think that was yet another fruitful meeting, so... The service is appreciated. If we do this, we'll be remembered as heroes. Together we will democratise. Thanks for being everyone. Your services are appreciated. Thank you all for the kind words, sir. You can count on us, Anton. Yes, Mr. President? I think this is where we call it, sir. Have a good day. They left the room. Cool. Oh, 5 bits of news. The Economist. Cooperation with Rumburg, an economic imperative. Amidst outgoing geopolitical uncertainties, there's an economic imperative that we can't ignore. The potential of our northern neighbour, Rumburg, known for its vast energy economy and is home to 2 major corporations, Rizian Oil and Gas, and Royal Emerald Energy, both ripe for collaboration. These energy giants represent not just the possibility of wealth generation, but also a means of diplomatic softening, aligning mutual interest to avoid future conflicts. By welcoming partnerships, we ensure that globalization serves as a bridge, not a barrier. I don't think the nationalists will like that one. Minister Manger's Rural Development Vision. Oh, it's a man. Minister of Rural Development Gus Manger. Is it Manger or is it Manga? He looks more like a manga. Recently unveiled an ambitious investment plan, concept aimed at revitalising the rural economies. To be fair, they could do with it. What do you want, Radical? Job-free sparks fears for Gazprom's financial stability. Gazprom is an energy company, got you. Growing discontent over the past electoral campaign financial bill, which has excluded public funding for parties that aren't able to enter the Grand National Assembly. Tough. Iotake Plan? A global perspective. The Kontanan, or the Communist Bloc Security Pacts. Iotake Plan, or Iotake? I'm assuming that's sort of Japanese. An ambitious initiative to transform Rika's infrastructure and education sectors has drawn mixed reactions globally. Western Merkopa and Northern Xena view the plan with scepticism, framing it as a geopolitical manoeuvre tied to ideological rivalries. Whatever, I don't really care that much. Right. I think this is another meeting in Holsword. Meeting with the Chief Justice, also Hawker. God, this is going to be bad. The administration has been working day and night on an overwhelming amount of issues that we're facing the country. Various government departments were sending me an avalanche of documents, all of which require my signature so they could start work on the new plans they had decided on. After I signed dozens of them, I closed my eyes to relax for a moment. Another long day. Even though I couldn't wait to leave the palace for the day, Lucian had entered to tell me that the Chief Justice wanted to speak to me. We were to meet in my office in 30. I waited for him, wondering what he wanted to talk about. Pour the whiskey. That was war to my end, but it did relax my mind a little. Suddenly I heard a knock at the door. It was Lucian. Good evening, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you too, sir. I'm sorry that I couldn't explain the situation to you in detail earlier, sir. The Chief Justice insisted on seeing you this evening. I do not know what he has to say, but it will probably be about the new constitution. He will be coming shortly with Judge Garasis, excuse me, to the meeting. We shouldn't take them lightly. I think he's here to test the waters, there to threaten us. We may be able to cooperate. Regardless of what they say, I will continue with the new constitution. Of course, let's stand our ground and not let them antagonize us, sir. We should... And there were 3 knocks at the door. Lucian checks his watch. He looked rather worried. Olivia opened the doors. Chief Justice Orso Hawker and Judge Haryan Garasi entered the room. Good evening, Mr. President. It's good to see you. Evening. I might swap those voices over. Welcome, Justices. Good to see you indeed. Paul suggested at the sofa in the office. Aye. Let's have a seat, gentlemen. We all took our seats on 2 opposite sofas and made ourselves comfortable. Also glanced at the glass of whiskey. Celebrating something, Mr. President. Forgive me, would you also like to have a drink? I was just trying to relax. I don't think it's relevant to our meeting. Can we get to the point? Forgive me, would you also like to have a drink? No, thank you. Me neither, thank you. I'd like to stay conscious and focused as I can. How are your first couple of months, Mr. President? I hope you're faring well. Thank you, it's very busy, but I'm doing good. It's a rough start. Doing well, no need to worry. No need for appeasement, just get to the point. Busy, but I'm doing good. It will only get busier, yet I think you're doing a good job so far. Considering all that's happened around us with shootings near the palace, soldiers on the borders, let out a deep sigh, it is a troubling time. We appreciate your concern. So, you probably know why we are here. I don't, please enlighten us. It's bribe me. It's the new constitution. Yeah, new constitution. Only here to tell you that the Supreme Court does not approve of the attempt to change the Constitution. With all due respect, the Constitution needs to be updated, sir. I'm sure you are well aware of the public demand and our circumstances. That's so. See, you are the one who is not aware of our actual circumstances. You want to make a weaker Constitution in the midst of problems from both inside and out. Even if your proposal passes the Assembly, I will make sure it does not pass the Supreme Court. That much is clear. You haven't seen the proposal yet. Isn't it too soon to go against it? You came here to threaten. Come on, we can figure something out. We'll get the court too, even if you don't cooperate. You haven't even seen the proposal. I think I live under a rock, Mr. President. I know what goes on. Yet you, Mr. President, seem only partially informed about the current situation. Let us explain our reasoning for our stance. I believe I'm fully informed on the situation. Please explain. Let's hear it. I don't care about your reasons. Please explain. We are protecting the Constitution because it works, Mr. President. It is efficient. It gives you the authority to lead the nation with swift decisions. Sordland has more important problems and threats that we should face right now instead of nitpicking around some paragraphs of the Constitution. We have a potential war within our borders. Also signalled Haryan with his head to let him speak instead. Mr. President, I know that you are a busy man, so I will make this quick. We all know that Sordish security forces found stashes of Rumbogian weaponry in the hideouts of Bloodish separatists. KA-74s are roaming inside Sordland at this moment. Much as Rumbog possesses a direct threat, now it's clear that they are intervening in our country and weaponizing our minorities against us. It's not unprecedented to think that the Bloods will start that terror again with their new toys. To mention the fight that broke out between the left and right wing after the shooting of Bernard Sarkas. Communists are rising with the support of United Contana. Chaos is imminent for Sordland. Sadly, don't see the administration taking necessary precautions yet. We clearly need more funding for our security forces for the days to come. Mr. Hawker, the court is nearest jurisdiction over those matters. We are taking necessary steps. I'll actually be increasing the security budget shortly. I am relieved to hear that. Regardless of that, Are you also aware that the armed Bloodish separatists have direct connections with the workers' parties of Bloodia? Everyone knows that, they claim otherwise. Workers' Party is a democratic party, unlike militias, they're not the same. I mean, they are all Bloods. I could go really racist. I'm just going to say everyone knows that. You know what that means. Do you remember the vote of the Workers' Party in the last election? What is this all about? The only reason they are not in the assembly is because of the electoral threshold. Gotten quite big, clearly getting outside help, and their connections to the paramilitary Bloodish forces cannot be denied. And all of a sudden, the reformists are trying to decrease the electoral threshold so that the Bloodish separatists can be legitimized in the assembly to achieve their aims of independence. You think that's Mr. Richter's intention, or not? That's too dramatic. Do you really think that's his intention? I suspect his intentions are grander. But I wish to only issue where were the Bloodish terrorists and But I wish the only issues were the Bloodish terrorists and Rumbog. The reformists suggest changes would also bring the communists, who are backed by Contana, into the assembly. See the pattern yet? Apologise, gentlemen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You're saying reformers are working for foreign powers, there's no evidence, or what is your suggestion? Well, what's your suggestion to this? Because, to be honest with you, they're making a bit of sense. We should take the necessary measures against communist and Bloodish plots, as well as increasing our military budget against a possible conflict with Romborg. And of course not fall into the traps of reformists by listening to their demands. They're clearly plotting to weaken the president and our whole administration in order to exploit the situation. Which brings us some very important information that we have. It's definitely something you need to hear, and can change absolutely everything. With all due respect, Mr. President, I think this is getting slightly ridiculous. You're right, I don't think anything will come out of this meeting. Well, we'll let him explain it. The person in question is Mr. Franz Richter himself, the leader of the reformists. We have enough information to infer that he has ties with Arcasia. Isn't that the good one? Isn't that the West? That's Social Republic located in Western Maricopa and recognised as one of the world's foremost superpowers. Yes, it's the good one. That's fine with me. Arcasia is aggressively growing their influence around the world, and now we have Mr. Richter coming up with these ridiculous demands for a new constitution amid a chaotic period in Sordland. Play good with the court, you can leverage them to make a very nice constitution yourself. That's effectively what I'm thinking here, Miguel, don't worry about it. All the pieces seem to fit perfectly. That's why the Supreme Court will be doing what it takes to stop these reforms and preserve the constitution. How would you know that Mr. Richter has ties to Arcasia? Mr. Gold, we all know he has been in Arcasia many times, because it's been documented. But what would you think if I told you he has been making hidden flights to the country? The court is evil. The court's just trying to protect Sordland, you know? Keep the constitution, keep the tradition, you know, they don't want internal civil war. Anyway, I need to know who's hiding flights to Arcasia? He was. He was spotted in a hotel in Arcasia last year where they held the Conference on Economic Development in Volatile Regions. Right around that time, he started to influence the masses into believing that our constitution is the reason for everything bad. Or, you know, everything going wrong, you might say. His trip was not documented, nor was he an official guest of the conference. We believe he had a meeting with President Walker behind closed doors. I also have more photos of him that were taken in Arcasia in different cities. One from a couple of months back. Again, none of this is documented. I'm sure the people realise he's leaving the country, though. He also attended another event in Lesbia last week. The Arcasian Minister of Foreign Affairs was there too. How did you find out about this? Big if true. I could hit them with the big if true boys. How can any of these be undocumented? Yeah, we'll do the big if true. I told you so, Mr. President. Many Solists were already following his lead for quite some time. Mr. President, I cannot give away their identities, but I can give you the evidence. I've been handed a small file that contained official documents from the Sordish border guard with highlighted dates that showed no trace of Franz Richter's name. There were clear photos of him that were taken in the conference in Arcasia, as well as remarks by lesbian and Arcasian citizens who claim to have seen him with Arcasian businessmen around those dates. You know, sounds good to me. There's also an official transcript of one of his speeches where he claimed to be in Benfi on the dates of the conference in Arcasia where he was spotted. After screwing up the reforms first time, I played the dictator path and was very cathartic. Lucian skimmed through the documents with skepticism, which slowly turned into surprise. These seem to be real. Of course they're real, Mr. Galland. These seem to suggest... Oh, God. These seem to suggest that Arcasia is behind the reformists. The demand will only benefit Arcasia. They want us to have a weaker administration while we face all these threats. I've got to say that the reforms seem absolutely absurd from my perspective. Like, just make everything as democratic as possible. Which obviously in the modern world is, oh, well, that's really obvious, why don't you just do that? But in reality, because it makes it a bit easier to manipulate. This is clearly a plot against Sordland. I bet Rumbog is part of the plan too. Cannot be a coincidence they are weaponizing our minorities against us at the same time. Now you understand the reason for our current stance. Our suspicion about your advisors, who clearly have not given you this vital information. Lucian gave him a sharp look. We appreciate the information, Mr. Hawker, but I advise against jumping to conclusions right away. We still need to check the information. There's not much to think or check. This is clearly an emergency. In such cases, the Constitution gives President the right to use his emergency powers. If we work together, you can be sure that the Supreme Court will not block your declaration of an emergency. Let's talk about how we can work together. You want me to declare emergency? I'm too skeptical about these, Mr. Corker. I'll have to decline. So you want me to declare an emergency? Of course! We cannot wait for the process of the Assembly to take care of these issues. You must exercise your presidential powers for a fast and effective solution. Which means you might need to suspend parts of the Constitution to give more authority to our security forces to deal with these issues. You must officially investigate Mr. Richter as well. You can devise a strong security decree if you can base it on Articles 57 and 8, which gives the President the right to suspend parts of the Constitution to deal with national security threats. You can directly bypass the Assembly in such a situation. The only thing you need is the Supreme Court to allow the emergency to be declared, and you have our word on that. So I think this is going a bit too far. We shouldn't escalate things so fast. Mr. President, why don't we talk in private? Just the two of us. We can devise a plan together. I know how we can use the Constitution to our advantage. It would be even more effective if Mr. Gláeddyv and Mr. Garassi leave before we can discuss it. So I advise against this. Would you leave us alone with Mr. Hawke, gentlemen? I like your idea, but I'd rather plan it together. Sorry to say we won't be cooperating. Regardless, I'll be proceeding with the reforms. Though they said reformers are in the heads of the communists, not capitalists, they contradict themselves. No, they're saying that the bloodists, those separatists, the ethnic minorities, are being they're being armed by Rumburg. I think Cortana is also supporting them because bio-Leninism, and then the reformists or the Progressive Party are on board with Western, the Arcasians, so it's sort of a pincer movement. I was so awful both times I played. I got my son bullied at school. I like your idea, but I'd rather plan it together. Glad to hear we're on the same page, Mr. President, but I have to insist on the private talk. Yeah, Time to end the meeting, I'm afraid. Well, thank you for having us, Mr. President. Have a good evening. They both left the room without saying anything. That was not good. Clearly tried to threaten you. We need to take care of them. We need to make sure our reforms pass the court. How dare they speak to me? I'm not scared of them. Yeah, we need to take care of them. Also, we'll be doing whatever it takes to damage you. We need to be careful. There are still many old god sympathizers in our party, and we can't let them divide the party. He will definitely try, though. After a short evaluation of the situation on our hands, Lucian left me in the presidential office. It was obvious the old guard would be my main rivals in the near future. Goodness me. Orca and Maroon Palace. Yes, okay, that's fine. Right. Big continue button. Guess we'll click that. Trials of Democracy. Oh my god. Oh, 10 bits of news. Let's have a read. Upcoming government budget changes. God, this is going to be good. As the top economy experts in the country, we have been watching the upcoming changes to the government budget very closely. President Anton Rein's first international economic challenge lie ahead, and we'll see if he can prove his capabilities as a leader who can think ahead. Potential ramifications of diverting funding to certain governmental branches has always been a point of contention. Yeah, well, it would be, wouldn't it? Red Youth rises, warning bells for Sordland. Recent activists of the Red Youth seen rallying in Narbel have set alarm bells ringing. The sudden visibility of a group known for its radical political ideology raises concerns about potential threats to Sordland's national stability. Works Union put pressure for promised benefits. No. School poisoning in rival. Oh my god, police arrested the principal of a high school in Ribel in southern Bergia, where 12 students died after eating a free meal laced with pesticide. Students between 15 and 17 died after eating lunch of a local dish of zabla, cooked at the school in poverty-stricken city. Police started an investigation to solve the mystery of how pesticide ended up. Yeah, I don't blame you. Protests in Narbel. Didn't we just... Yeah, the whole sword poster saying that's bad, the radical saying, oh, it's good, it's mostly peaceful. You're making too many enemies. I know, I noticed that, but they're all terrible. Time for women to stand up. I'll get the feminists on board, don't worry. Questioning socialist education. Don't do that. Grace nations unite to counter ideological influences, form parallel financial order. Van Horten blames Valgsland for the missing fishing vessel. Anrika emerges as buffer zone and global trade power. Oh, that's good. Right. Barbecue with Frank. Is that my son? Saturday afternoon, my first break from work in what felt like years. The weather couldn't have been more perfect. Trying to keep my mind off the upheaval sparked by the circus assassination, I lit the backyard grill. Monica and Deanna were out shopping for craft supplies, and I'd given the staff the day off. It's just myself and Frank. I wasn't sure how he felt about me at the moment, but I did know that he felt about the barbecue ribs. Our cook had left some marinating in the fridge. Sure enough, as soon as Frank glimpsed the grill and meat, he stepped outside to join me. Look, who's finally out of his room. Come to spend... Oh god, who's finally out of his room? We'll do the dad thing. You should talk, Dad. I never see you at home anymore. Look, son, I'm preoccupied. Sorry, I know I haven't been around very often lately. I'll have to see you now. Okay, I know you've got the most stressful job in the country, and you've got to feed your family on top of it all. We both chuckled and turned to tend the fire. Yeah, let me try. He grabbed the fan and started quickly waving it over the coals, and the fire were all alive. He turned to look at me with a grin on his face as if he was expecting praise. Saying, yeah, not bad. We'll give him a not bad. Thank you, sir. In our utmost interest to fulfill our duties with precision, the grilling shall commence in exactly 1 minute and 32 seconds. This was a spot-on impersonation of Lucian. We looked at each other for a second and burst out laughing. I realised my throat was parched and there was a 6-pack of beer in the kitchen. Yes, lad. Can you get me a beer? Why don't you bring us a couple of beers? Get up and grab a beer. Yeah, get me a beer, Frank. Frank got up without saying anything, went to the kitchen, returned with a beer. Thank you. I opened the beer and gazed out to the city skyline. Father and son, we enjoyed the silence together. See, I didn't offer him one, because then we'd only have 3 each. And I want to get wasted. For a moment, my thoughts flashed back to my childhood and my relationship with my own father. My father was a hard-working man and always had our best interests in mind. At least that's what he always said. But he had a temper and would lash out at my mother in fights I could hear from my bedroom. By the time I was Frank's age, we seldom spoke. Now that I was president, I was facing more stress than a father ever had. I would have to work hard not to take my frustrations out on the old family. Dad, can I ask you something? Well, family, can I go on? It's just, I feel like there's so much you've been hiding from me. About your past and about what's going on right now. Like at dinner the other night after the ball, you told me everything was under control. But it wasn't, was it? I know what happened in the 20s. We learned all about it in school. Now with the protest and the riots, is it going to be the same thing? Is there going to be a civil war in Sordland? I hope not. I will never let that happen. I'll just say I hope not. He let out a sigh. But what was it like back then? Uncle Peter said the 2 of you went through a lot. I'm not a kid anymore, you can tell me. Before I could gather my thoughts, the familiar images started flashing before my eyes. Images of soldiers advancing up toward me and my friends, weapons drawn, people I knew, friends and neighbours being dragged through streets and murdered in alleyways, and the little girl's face. Those were dark times. Seems like it. You're nearly a grown man, so let's talk about it. Yeah, go on. He leaned forward in his chair, eyes open. Tell Frank about the coup, about the Civil War. And we'll do the coup. I was barely older than you are now, studying economics at Lackhaven Business School. I was a freshman, excited and young. And I just left the classroom to go back home as I heard the sound of multiple vehicles approaching the campus. As I got closer, I realised there were military camouflage trucks and tanks carrying hundreds of soldiers. The same soldiers were supposed to protect Sordland citizens, but pointed their guns at us. They immediately took control of the facility. One of my friends asked what was going on and was arrested immediately. More people got angry and gathered in protest. Oh yeah, I probably should have given him a beer if I was going to do these war stories. He kept listening with a shocked look on his face. Tell him about the soldiers beating me. I was there with the protesters as they declared martial law. We marched towards them, they threatened to use force, but we stood our ground. Then they started beating anyone they saw, including me. Physical wounds took a few weeks to heal, but the mental scars have stayed with me to this day. I stayed strong. Some of my friends were shot, many more were arrested, and I can't forget their screams, but I'm proud not to have faltered. Frank leaned back with his shoulders slumped heavily. Yeah, let's carry on traumatising him. Now onto the Civil War. Right after I met your mother, we both joined the same political debate group to push for change after the coup of 27. Eventually I became convinced I wasn't doing enough, so I joined the Young Swords. Then one night it happened. 2 different factions in the army, one led by the Maximist General Luderin and the other by the Socialist General Richard. We started fighting against each other and it was a bloodbath. Nowhere was safe. Shifting his seat, visibly uncomfortable. Does sound like something from the 70s. I don't think we had people shot in the street in the 70s. So we organised a protest one day against Richard. We were fed up with the army toying with the country again. Boo to socialists. I won't tell him about the girl, that's probably a bit too much. It was horrible, they were waiting for us, everything plunged into chaos, soldiers started beating and shooting at everyone. I trailed off, there were some things my son didn't have to know. And that's enough for today. Okay, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked you about that. I know I don't understand how easy my life is sometimes. One more thing though. I know you joined the Young Swords back then. But why? Sordland was under attack by communists and I had to defend. I had to survive somehow in that environment and I made a choice. Yeah, the communists suck. Frank raised his eyebrows, his curiosity still not satisfied, but sensing my reluctance to go on, he simply nodded. Sorry for bombarding you with questions. I know I complain sometimes, but my problems are nothing compared to this. I'm here to listen to them no matter what problems, you're damn right, your generation will never understand. Well, what are your problems? Before Frank could say anything, I heard the front door, Dina and Monica's voice, and the sounds of rustling shopping bags filled the house. Okay, I'll be upstairs until dinner. Frank went and dashed upstairs. I took a long sip of my beer, looking at the city and the setting sun. I hoped that talking to Frank about my past had been the right decision. Part of me felt some sort of burden had been lifted. But I had the same nightmares again that night. I did all that just to traumatise my son and get absolutely nothing for it. Green, a threat to growth. New proposed Green Act aimed at nurturing a sustainable industrial approach to Grunny raised concern. Yeah, damn right it should. Gassom in turmoil, leadership crisis. Recent financial distress facing Gassom, one of the pillars of Sordland's economy, highlighting glaring issues at its helm. Investigation reveals a disconcerting narrative of mismanagement spearheaded by Alfonso, the current CEO, known to maintain close ties with Mr. Manga. Evidently, their leadership is characterised by a striking absence of cost-cutting initiatives and measures to enhance operational efficiency. I didn't bail them out, and now they're failing. That's how economies work. People don't want the Green Act. Fair. Attacker opened fire on protesters, 17 dead. Oh my god. A man opened fire on Vesord City Centre during a protest march organised by the Communist Party against the murder of Circus. The attacker used a military-guided machine gun dated to 1929, which is suspected to be part of the inventory of the Sordish Armed Forces. The attacker killed himself right after shooting 25 people and killing 16. Although it says 17 dead. I take it one later died in hospital or something. Well, if you ask me, that's civil war. Elysian Oil and Gas express interest in Gassom. Might have to give them a bit of investment on that. FC Gelsord and FC Anrika Derby postponed due to protests. Oh god. I'm overseeing a failing country. This isn't ideal. Undemocratic elections of Sordland. Sordland has an electoral threshold of 10%, meaning any party that is under 10% of the vote can't even enter the assembly. This is the very reason why United Sordland Party holds 52% of the seats. Get over it. Imperative Green Bill awaits signature. No, we're not doing it, radicals. CSP's worker report under scrutiny. Recent report on workers' rights released by the reformist faction within the Cortana Security Pact has stirred international discourse. Cool. America broadens economic horizons. Cool. The kid from Lubna's channel. What? Who's Lubna? Right, let's go to Narba. Oh, that's where all the protests are. I was travelling to the snow-covered city of Narbel in the Nargis region of the Rural Development Forum organised by the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Education. The mountainous city was infamously one of Sordland's poorest, had gritty edge and its people were hardy and wary. Even after the discovery of gas and oil, years of neglect by the central government were apparent on the buildings and general infrastructure. Natural resources were under the control of Gassom, which elevated the corporation pace to a place of power. My task in the forum was mainly symbolic. Smiles and handshakes with oil barons, meeting the local politicians, but most importantly making sure Narbel didn't feel like it was forgotten. Scenery, however, was reflection of Narbel's neglect. Main roads to the city were not maintained. There were many bumps and empty discoloured spots in the asphalt. Navigating and swerving to avoid the inconveniences of our motorcade started nearing the city. As they started nearing the city. Excuse me. As if my discomfort from the bumpy ride was apparent to him, Serge rolled down the partition window. We will be arriving at the Hotel West in a few minutes, sir. Thank you for letting me know. Can't say it's been a comfortable ride, Serge. I'm sorry, sir. The roads here aren't the best. After a moment, Serge started to smile under his moustache. What's the smile for? So I just wanted to say it's been great these last 2 months. As you know, my wife Susan recently gave birth to our son, and my daughter just started a very good high school in Hullsword. Get ready, Serge, life's about to become a lot busier. Great news, happy for you. Congratulations. I appreciate it, sir. Truly. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to afford a good private school if she scored less than the entrance exams. But I shouldn't have made my insecurity get to me. Erica outsmarts me every time, and I'm very proud to have a daughter like her. I also hope Dina will grow up to be like her mother someday. I'm sure she will, sir. After all, she is the daughter of a lion and a lioness. My daughter looks up to the First Lady for inspiration. It's not just limited to my daughter, sir. She is an inspiration for all women in the country. At the same time, it must be hard for the First Lady as well. All this attention, adjusting to the new high-profile life, and a husband that has great responsibility. That's not so. You're right. It's hard for her. It's hard. It is hard for her. It must be, sir. Sometimes forget the important people in our life between the responsibility and rush. You know, what we care for. Spare me lectures. I get it. I agree. Yes, I'll be polite. I like Serge. Serge continued after a moment of silence. Have I told you so? We named our son George. The doctor said he's very healthy, and thankfully so is my wife. I hope the hospital had good service. Normally we would have been treated in one of the suburban hospitals, but thanks to the special coverage of the presidential staff, we were transferred to Emerald State Hospital. That's a great hospital. Equipment and staff are exceptional. Serge sighed. I've already started thinking about their university education, especially Erica. I want to send her to a good private school, but the current state of the economy is going to be hard. You know what? Support the education. We'll fix the economy. It's hard for everyone. We'll fix the economy. If anyone can, that's you, Mr. President. The car hit a major pothole and bump which lifted us up off our seats for a second. Enough to focus on our road. It's unacceptable. We need to invest in infrastructure. Yes, I will go with that. I agree, sir. We need to drive back tomorrow unless you use one of those new helicopters. The motorgrade began to approach the hotel. Hotel West was supposedly the best hotel in Narble. 25-story main building and undoubtedly one of the taller and more expensive buildings in the city. Towered over nearby slums and had been targeted for protest when it was first built. The crowd was gathered in front of the hotel with the welcoming committee. We approached the red carpeted entrance and I could see the mayor of Narble and his top aides. Serge got out of the car and opened the door. He bowed his head respectfully and gestured toward the entrance. Thank you. Have a good day, Mr. President. As soon as I left the vehicle, the fresh air of Narble filled my lungs. Almost immediately, everyone present in the crowd flocked over to me with excessive display of courtesy, smile and handshakes while I donned the mask of a politician. A mask I was very used to. See, it's little bits like that. I kind of like it in this game. Absolutely pointless detail. Gave me an option to pay for his daughter's education. And I was like, nah mate, not doing that. Briefing with the current welfare situation. I arrived at the meeting room for my talk with Chiara and Pascal. Before beginning, I took a moment to appreciate the view from the balcony. Mountains of Narble were completely covered with snow. While I was mesmerised by the scenery, Pascal Bennywell walked up to me. Oh my god, he looks like poor Whitehouse. My Minister of Health was ironically somewhat portly, having gained a few pounds since his breakthrough as a best-selling writer, but his authority on social affairs could not be questioned. I might do a poor Whitehouse impression. Such a spectacular view. Chiara Walder, the Minister of Education, joined us on the balcony dressed in a sky blue pantsuit. Preference for trousers over dresses had made her the subject of much palace gossip, but it didn't seem to bother her in the slightest. I reckon they're gossiping that she might be a lesbian. Spectacular indeed, but if you look the opposite direction, you will see what Sol's decades of neglect did to the city. Most of the people living in Narble are workers, farmers, and their wives and children. They're breaking their backs for close to no pay, all thanks to greedy corporations. My intention is to help the working class, whatever. I'd much rather be in Hullsword. Can't really blame the companies, that's just how they work. Well, I do want to help the working class. Chiara is the worst human. God. I am glad to see I am glad to see you eye to eye on the issue. If you look past the view, you can see the real problems. Real problems like poverty. Pascal nodded gravely. It was a subject he knew quite a bit himself. His best known books were about the plight of Sordland's less fortunate, drawing from his own past growing up in squalor. Well put, Miss Walder. I don't need to tell you about my own experiences with poverty. I'm sure you'll have similar stories. Am I right, Mr. President? We've all gone through difficult times. I can't quite do a Paul Whitehouse. We've all gone through difficult times. We knew less fortunate families, even though we belong to the middle class ourselves. Yes. So you could at least sympathise with the plight of these people. You don't have to be born poor to sympathise with the plight of the impoverished. Much as you don't have to be born a woman to recognise Sordland's need for parity among the sexes. Ugh, it's already annoying me. Parity among the sexes shouldn't be our first priority. Look at how many high-ranking female politicians our country has. Appearances can be deceiving, Pascal. Her voice sounded bitter. Think about how Lilias Graf got her current position. Don't necessarily believe the rumours about her and Sol, but she could never have risen so high if she didn't parrot his cause. Gloria Torri. It is an accident that the first female assembly speaker is such a staunch conservative. And then there was Alphonse's habit of promoting women to prominent positions to give Sordland a progressive sheen while accomplishing nothing in reality. While women in places like Nabal are denied any opportunity to advance. The government can use a handful of female politicians from wealthy families, myself included, to pretend their own obstacle to success is their own lack of initiative. Meanwhile, those of us who don't use our clout to help powerful men stay in power are denigrated as angry spinsters. I ask you, Mr. President, does anyone care that your strategist, Mr. Gláeddyv, doesn't have a wife? I've been wondering about that, actually. Leave Lucian out of this, you veered off topic. I agree with you completely, women deserve better. I think you veered off topic, Miss Walder. Mr. Bennywell, I asked. Mr. Bennywell asked, I answered. As I was saying, this isn't about time Holsard addresses the country's real issues, rather than bowing to the wishes of the hawks and fearmongers in the establishment, and diverting yet more resources to the military and law enforcement. Our welfare, healthcare, and education systems have been decaying since their recession. Sordland's poorer communities are losing hope. Hopelessness and a lack of opportunity can drive people to extreme solutions. We're seeing increased crime, domestic violence, and yes, rising inequality between men and women. Lilias Graf will take care of crime. She's an expert on the subject. Those issues must be tackled from different directions. We need to engage holistically. If only we could stop the recession, create jobs and growth. Capital must be prioritised toward resources that matter the most. Gonna get hit her with the free market argument. Sordland needs more schools full of children instead of barracks full of soldiers. More hospitals instead of police stations. It is obvious that the military has been overfunded for a long time. Perhaps it is time to change this trend. There's another subject I want to mention. I've been working on improving the rights of workers in our country and have proposed a draft bill that is currently being reviewed by our party. Mr. Clavin has already backed me and given his support. Sordland has fallen behind most countries on this subject, and I think it's my responsibility to ensure this is not the case. I agree we need to improve standards of workers, already room for improvement, and it's good to hear that you're pushing for it. We shouldn't upset businesses who are already struggling. Sounds like a costly bill for a low priority issue. Military's been overfunded for a long time. It just sounds like a pointless bill. If the very lives of our workers aren't a priority, then what is? Our administration should be able to set a budget aside for these type of improvements. It is also a matter of life and death. Every decade we hear of some horrific accident due to employers' disregard for their workers' safety. So, will you back the bill when it arrives on your desk, Mr. President? I will be very interested in supporting it once it's finished. To make a decision, I need to evaluate the contents in detail. Understandable. You'll receive all the sections in an outline. It's getting a little cold out there. Shall I continue our discussion indoors? Keir Starmer has entered the room. Oh no. She is an angry spinster. I mean, I didn't want to say it. So we headed back inside. The meeting room was already prepared for the state business. Small gifts for each of us had been placed on the table by the municipality. We took our seats. Hello, Bane. Let's start with your health overview. Let's talk about your plan. Let's get Kiara out of the way. I don't like Kiara. Tell me about your plans, Kiara. With pleasure. Sordish education is free, but we have a very outdated system I want to reform. The other important issue is the lack of access to education in rural areas, especially for young girls. Your administration has the power to solve both. My highest priority is to get enough funding to be able to build schools in rural areas while I cleanse our education system of its nationalistic indoctrination and sexist teachings. Right, I'm okay with building more schools. I don't know what you mean by nationalistic indoctrination. I want to know what you're getting rid of first. And sexist teachings, I'm going to hit in the ballpark and say probably fair enough. How many students and teachers do we have? What's the literacy rate? What's the difference between urban and rural education? What is the literacy rate? The literacy rate of Sordland is at 80%. It is a very good indicator for future growth, but it needs to increase. It's also far lower among girls than boys. If I remember correctly, the most illiterate areas are Bergia and Agland. That is correct, although Lakavan schools the statistics for the Nagis region, which also has a vast number of illiterate citizens. This underlines my point about the lack of access in education. How many students and teachers? Yeah, how many students and teachers? Currently there are more than currently there are about 5 million students, 3 million in primary and 1 million in secondary, and another million in higher. There are 155,316 teachers. Sordland is full of young and bright minds. We should keep striving to make education available for all. I actually agree with that. I think there needs to be a change in what is being taught. We should help children and ask questions and educate themselves. Tell me about the difference between urban and rural. Urban areas have 3 times the number of schools per 10,000 people compared to rural areas. Rural areas also suffer from a lack of teachers. I can imagine teachers do not prefer desolate areas. Salaries for teachers are very low here. We need to increase their pay to give them more incentive. Fair enough. Thank you, Kiara. I can fill in the blanks from there. What about the healthcare system? As you wish, Mr. President. Agenland is where the minorities live, is that right? I thought they lived in Bergia. Yeah, there's a load of Bloodish there. Where's Angland? Isn't that near the... yeah, there. That's still mostly Sordish. Yeah. Well, there's quite a few minorities, to be fair. Oops. Sordland has a free healthcare system, except for a few private hospitals operating under it. Most of the population receive adequate treatment. Health issues primarily appear in rural areas due to a lack of quality service. Doing my best to ensure that citizens of all ages receive the best healthcare that they can. I also personally want to solve our high infant and maternity mortality problem. No more poverty for teachers. Did you see Peter beyond Russell Quirk? He seems to be coping and claim Reform's organisation in the by-election is not impressive. When he goes on Reform once like that, he sounds better. Peter B just has a bit of a... Peter Barnes, that is, just has a bit of a... He's kind of doing a bit... He's brought on constantly on everything to be the guy on the right who has a go at Reform in a way that isn't just they're not going to deport everyone, like the dorks say, which does make him interesting and somewhat unique. But I mean, whenever we're on Walls of Westminster, he's like he'll say this stuff. I'll push back and he'll basically concede on everything. So I'm quite nuanced with my pushback. So I just bear that in mind whenever you see him on anything else. Just he's going overboard basically to be a bit of a character. That's what he's doing there. I'm doing my best to ensure that citizens of all ages receive the best healthcare they can. I also personally want to solve our high... Oh, I read that. How many doctors and nurses are employed? We have 31,594 doctors and 73,680 nurses, and they work for the Ministry of Health. This is a high number. What I think is, the Don't want to be rude, but out of those numbers, how many are urban and in rural areas? Go on then. What is it, Pascal? Data shows that per 10,000 people in urban areas there's about 11 doctors, while in rural areas there's about 3. In other words, rural citizens with medical emergencies have to wait an embarrassingly long time before they are treated. How many hospital beds are there per 10,000 citizens? There are 10 beds per 10,000 citizens. Compared to most of our neighbours, this is actually a very good number. Our amount of beds is higher than countries of Agnolia and Orwellen, but we obviously can't match Lesbia or Vagsland. Agnolia and Orwellen should hardly be used as a standard, but it is good to know we aren't in the massive health crisis yet. What's the life expectancy and mortality rate? Our life expectancy is 85 years. Infant mortality rate is a worrying 121 per 1,000 births, while our maternity mortality is 5 per 1,000. I assure you we're doing everything we can to save mothers and their newborns. Those numbers are saddening indeed. I expect nothing but your best efforts. We are working very hard on improving the quality of our services. Thank you, Pascal. Your briefing is appreciated. I believe that's everything. Kara stood up and moved toward the window. She took a deep breath. What is it? Look at this impoverished city. The street is full of potholes. They're barely functioning. The school is half open. This is not just about Sol or even Alfonso failing. This decay in Sordland's forgotten region has been going on for many decades due to the structural corruption which is fueled by capitalism. He did more for the country than any of us. Let's not get into ideology. We're here to change the trend. Pascal, what do you think? What do you think, Pascal? There's not much to be said, sir. I agree with Chiara, but also Gus Magna's job is to improve these areas. It is the responsibility of each and every one of us. Chiara sat back down and sighed. One way or another, we need change in Sordland. Greed and unchecked capitalism will not magically provide for the people. Tell me about your plans, then. My plans require an increase in the government budget. I aim to solve the problems we highlighted with the allocated money. Building schools in these less fortunate rural areas and through fundamental changes to the education system, I will unlock the potential for all our children, boys and girls alike. Improving the situation in rural areas is indeed a good idea. I do actually agree. You should never know what type of people appear out of these areas. It is an investment into the future of Sordland. Imagine unlocking the full untapped potential of our youth. The knowledge and wealth they will generate. Wouldn't a promotion to private education help create additional funds? Yes, but at what cost? I'm not a supporter of the private sector in education. At the end of the day, they are focused on profit first. Or what are you working towards, Pascal? Personally, want to improve the low quality of healthcare in your rural areas. Create a draft plan to increase the salary of doctors and upgrade the equipment of hospitals. I can do more with an increased budget. Additionally, privatisation plan to promote private investment in healthcare system could allocate extra funds. Isn't access to healthcare an issue? Improving the quality of healthcare in less fortunate areas should be our highest priority. Yeah, we'll go with that. Access is an issue, but not as critical as improving the quality of these areas. The lack of experienced personnel and equipment causes poor treatment, resulting in many deaths. I do hope to create competition and increase the quality of healthcare with privatisation efforts. But you must realise that privatising our healthcare system would increase the price of treatment and make access worse for the average citizen. The decision not to promote more state control would cost the Sordish people dearly. My expectation from our government is that we understand and focus on the need of the people. We prioritise people's needs, significant issue we need to focus on. Appreciate your briefings, we will reconvene at the budget. It was a pleasure. See you at the meeting. I hope to see a change in direction. Do we cover all the necessary subjects? One more thing. I wish to raise my concern about your scheduled meeting with Gasom Chairman and former President Mr. Alfonso. By negotiating with Alfonso and his company, you have an opportunity to secure better labour conditions for blue-collar Gasom employees. This could be a triumph for all of Narva. What is there to negotiate, Pascal? The standards for Gasom workers are already rock bottom. President Rain can and must demand better. Nevertheless, it's worth acknowledging the corporation's significant contribution to job creation in Narvel and other poverty-stricken regions. Persuading the chairman to make concessions might prove a formidable task. Yeah, she is a commie. I can see why people were telling warning me she's awful. Foremost priority, line improving the economy, upward mobility match will follow. What good is job creation if the workers are treated poorly? I know how slippery Alfonso can be. To do it right, we can find a solution that advances the economy and interest of labourers. That would be quite an impressive feat. You'd make headlines for it. This matter is close to my heart. I would personally be grateful if you were able to resolve the concern raised by Katrina Horton and her fellow Labour representatives. It would be difficult to imagine a CEO like Alfonso giving benefits to workers without him personally gaining from it. Consider our need for greater energy security, we might find ourselves forced to collaborate with him. In this world, nothing is truly free. I wouldn't anticipate anything less. Gazprom relies on us just as we rely on them. We can find a path to compromise. Is profit from workers far too long, blah blah blah. Nah, energy security. Remember, these collaborations usually come with strings attached. Often they are disproportionately in favour of corporations while placing the burden on the common people. Thank you for your input, Kiara, but I will stress to President Rain how important it is that the door to dialogue remain open. Ideology should never get in the way of bringing out about tangible, lasting change. I'm sceptical these discussions with Gasson will lead to meaningful change. I'm encouraged by the willingness of Mr. Manga and Alfonso to meet with me. It's a step forward. Can't promise anything. I disagree. Right. Yes, I'm encouraged. We shall keep you no longer. Thank you both for the discussion. I do hope you won't repeat the same mistake again and again. Have a good day, Mr. President. The ministers left and I prepared to leave for other official business in the city. Gasson meeting was just one of the many events I was scheduled to attend over the next few days. As I made my way out, the weather was noticeably cold and it did not keep a group of USP supporters from coming out to cheer us in the streets. By looking at citizens' attire, it was easy to understand the current state of Narbil. Some people were wearing clothes a few sizes large, kids didn't even have shoes, and there was hope in their eyes. They were excited to see their president in their city. Goodness me. Oh god, my economy's in danger? Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Alright, fellas, my throat really hurts, so I will be 2 minutes while I get a drink. Be right back. Told you I'd be right back. Alright. It's not absolutely very good that my economy is in the danger zone, but that's... Education privatisation proven successful. Imagine my shock. Preserving national sovereignty. The EPA stands for now. Energy Protection Act. Yes, I need to loosen that a bit, to be honest. Protests appear calmer. That's good, because I just killed a few people. Sol needs to answer for his crimes. Oh, I'll be fine. Shocking misogynistic rally. Oh my god, Andrew Tate's in the game. Every day we're appalled by how deep the roots of misogyny in our country go. We're appalled again when yesterday during a protest by the Sordish League of Women, counter-protesters showed up to disrupt the rally. The resulting scuffle between police and protesters, a mob were arrested from both sides. Ooh. Labour Union Rights March, don't care. Right, meeting about Gasson. You've made many mistakes when it comes to the economy. No. Time for privatisation, what monopolies do to an economy. But the monopolies are failing, so I don't get it. After a series of intense meetings with Chiara and Pascal, I decided to take some much needed time to recharge. I checked in with Lucian and Peter back at the capital, and they were working hard to unite democratically leaning reformists for the crucial task of drafting a new constitution. Meanwhile, Gus Manja had invited me to visit Gassom headquarters in Narbil, and it was situated in Ornobel, the neighbourhood on the city outskirts. Next to it was Damonoi Gas Reserve, a prominent natural gas source consisting of 4 large fields. As our motorcade made its way through the Ornobel district, I noted the neighbour's state of disrepair. The roads were bumpy and marked by potholes, while the buildings surrounding us appeared run down and dilapidated. The community had apparently endured a prolonged period of neglect. Came to a halt at the entrance gate to the facility. A sizable mural depicting GooseSpringsteen logo had been painted on a nearby wall. Adjacent to the mural, a group of individuals wearing blue work vests had assembled, holding what looked like protest signs. Surge skillfully parked the car, bringing our journey to a smooth and elegant conclusion. Gus greeted us warmly as we stepped out of the vehicle. Good day, President Rain. Welcome to GooseSpringsteen Noble Operation. I trust Minister Walder and Beniwell didn't overwhelm you with demands. Please have a break from it all. I would be surprised if there are no demands or expectations here today. No demands from me, President Rain. I'm all about making deals and finding common ground. It's one thing Gus Manga stands for, it's win-win solutions. Mr. President, I've been brainstorming a little something. Rooney Rural Investment Plan. I reckon it's got potential to breathe new life into our rural communities out in Grooney. We could consider a few things. For starters, we could give the farming business a boost with some subsidies, or could steer towards modernising existing farming with machinery and tech. Or another thought, we could pour resources into developing crop breeds tailor-made for Grooney conditions. It works, we could roll it out across Sordland. He kept talking as he guided me to GooseSpringsteen building. Mr. President, I get the appeal of that green bill that's been making the rounds in the Assembly. I'm telling you, if we put the brakes on that and funnel those funds into the Grooney plan instead, we could make some real strides. I'm intrigued by your vision, I'll consider it. Tough call. No, I prefer the machinery one. I appreciate you hearing me out, Mr. President. I genuinely believe the plan would work wonders in rural folk. Our talks were interrupted by noise coming from outside the building. We looked to the nearest window. A sleek helicopter was cutting through the sky, sunlight glistening off its polished surface as it descended toward us. It was our next appointment, Awald Alfonso. Alfonso sure knows how to make an entrance. Man loves his theatrics. Spectacle aside, before we sit down with him, there's one more assembly matter I wanted to raise. The Workers' Rights Bill. Look, I'm all for giving hard-working folk what they deserve, but isn't it a bit hasty to push this while we're stuck in a recession? The way I see it, short-term wins might end up costing big time in the long run. I get what you're saying. I've played this smart. In my books, workers' rights aren't up for negotiation. Heard of workers from Estall on the radio said he's got rights on paper but nothing in his fridge. Yeah, we've got to play this smart. Yo! Mr. President, I'm glad you're thinking about the big picture. We've got to strike a balance to protect our economy and workers. Timing and approach are everything. If you overload businesses, they'll shrink or shut down. Strong labour protection is the foundation. I think it's the option that signals progress without rattling the markets. We need both the stability and reform. Yeah. That's the sweet spot. You bring the idealism, I'll shape the rollout. Please come this way. Elwald and I have something exciting news to share with you. We have faith you won't leave us hanging. You still have to prove that you make returns on your deals. Our investment in Armadine had better make a return. I haven't seen him since the inauguration. He's really pulled back into life. Now bring up the investment. I never claim to see the future, President Rain. I merely find good opportunities to seize them. My point earlier is simple. It took Labour decades to be professionalised. Reform have done 50% of the work in a few years. Reform could get 35 to 40% in time, and P2B would still moan. Yeah, of course he would. That's what he does. You just got to get used to it. Sometimes I do it for myself. Other times I chase luck with others. Your measly 1,000 shares won't make you much profit, but you know, good to dip your feet in the water before taking a dive. Me, I got 4,000 shares thanks to a low-risk loan I leveraged on the old logistics business of mine. As soon as the IPO kicks in on the Ventura City Stock Exchange, we'll both be rolling in Ren. True capitalist knows how and when to play. Well said. Now you raise the list you can fall. Well, why not pick up good people along the way? Not all the market economy believers are capitalist pigs. Look at me. How many jobs I've brought to the country. Attract money, invest in the right solutions, increase wealth and living standards, and it all trickles down. I see your point, but the economy is complex. We discuss this later. We shouldn't keep our former president waiting. Push the door open, walk down yet another hallway, seemingly in the direction we just come from. Like a maze, isn't it? That's Quinali architecture for you. Family note, strategic situated country in the Zeno Peninsula. Right, whatever. The hallways were lined with doors, glass panels in them revealed workers in suits and ties, many in foreign origins, busy in their pristine offices. A stark contrast to the blue-collar workers outside working with machinery, transportation and maintenance. Whole complex feels like hands on deck. I can tell an intricate operation when I see one. Why are there so many workers? White collars seem to be having it good in here while the majority are working out in the cold. Well, so many foreign workers. The best talent in Sordland was snatched by the SCC in the 30s. Most other corporations couldn't contend, so they had to look elsewhere. Here's the elevator. Ewald ought to be up there already, with a separate entrance by the helipad. Stepped in, Gus punched the code, and we began our ascent. Would advise you try and get a win for workers and talk to the workers at the end and be very careful. He will do as he wishes, usually... He will do as he wishes, usually bad. What? Let's do this. Door opens. Here we are, Ewald, my friend. Alfonso stood up from his chair and had on a perfectly tailored suit he wore casually as pyjamas. Gosh, you old devil. It takes one to know one. As promised, I've brought our old guest. President Rain, I hope you enjoyed seeing our facilities here. President Alfonso, it's nice to see what you've built. The facility appears much better shape than the city around. You should have seen Narble before Gasson came here. The jobs it's generated had lasting positive effects. It's true, things here could be a lot worse. Please, have a seat. Let's talk. We sat down, some snacks and drinks were served, multiple Gasson yearly financial reports were scattered on the table between us. President Rain, I'm here because we have a great opportunity on our hands. A business arrangement that will benefit Gasson and Sordland alike. I also happen to believe that current and former presidents of Sordland should stick together and share our experiences. Not everyone has been in our shoes, you know. That's indeed a business arrangement, let's focus on that. Presidents sticking together, that's an interesting notion. Let's put the past aside, I have a country to run. Well, this is a business arrangement. Of course, President Rain. Business above all should drive this discussion. Exactly, gentlemen. Let's get down to brass tacks, eh? As we discussed, the future of Sordland, it is paramount that I comprehend your vision. The trajectory you set this country will inevitably impact not just Gasson, but also Sordland's position on the global stage. I confess I've been following the news from the Maroon Palace closely since leaving office. I'm heartened your economic interests seem to align with mine. Even more so, you've chosen to align with the West. It's a path I myself considered while drafting my foreign policy. Now I hear you are positive about Kingdom of Rizia investing in Gasson. Yes, I take it as an encouraging sign a foreign nation is interested in Sordish Corporation. I'm receptive, but engaging with international partners like monarchies brings its own set of bad repercussions. My greatest concern is the well-being of Sordland, whether that involves collaboration or not. Indeed, Mr. President, the welfare and progress of Sordland must always be our primary concern. That Alfonso voice is creepy. I'm kind of doing an English Mr. Burns, but like a nice one. You know, gentlemen, this reminds me of a story from when I was just starting out. There was this young farmer in Grunny. His father was a stubborn man, insisting on doing things the old way. But this young farmer had his ideas. He wanted to modernise, innovate. It was only when his father fell ill and took over and transformed the farm he took risks. Made some mistakes, but ultimately tripled their output just in a few years. Heartwarming story, but one successful case doesn't mean it's the best approach. An inspiring story, this is the kind of innovation and growth that should be fostered in Sordland. Power of economic freedom. It allows for innovation. It allows for us to adapt and grow. As Gus finished the point, we suddenly heard the faint wailing of sirens in the distance and waited for the noise to fade. Back to the topic at hand. It seems we're at a crossroads with Gasson. The numbers tell a tale of struggle and potential. No need to sugarcoat it, Gus. Our corporation is teetering on the edge of a cliff. Without significant restructuring, the firm risked plunging into insurmountable debt. My old friend Elworld reached out to me for assistance, and out of respect for our shared history and my small stake in the company, I couldn't refuse. I've always believed in the power of networking, and I'm sure you've heard of Rusty Montero, Chairman and CEO of Rizian Royal Gold. Rusty and I go a long way back, and he's done quite well for himself. But under Alfonso's government, I was able to broker a deal with King Ramos Torres. Thanks to my connection with Rusty, it was a win for all involved. Rusty Montero, the Torres family, the Rizian government, seems impressively powerful alliance you've formed. I'm not thrilled that you got Sordland in bed with the monarchy. I've heard Gus understand the need for strategic alliances. Let's remember our own interests. I'm going to assist you to return the favour by improving the situation in the city. Yeah, I'll say that one, actually. One hand washes the other. Thanks to Gus Rizian connections, investors from the kingdom are now interested in Gasson, a development that could steer us clear of the looming crisis. We've got an amazing opportunity here. The demand for gas is steadily increasing from both international partners and the Sordish state. All we have to do is ensure a consistent supply. The trouble is that right now some of our fields are operating at only half their capacity due to resource limitations, but we have significant potential for expansion, including 2 fields that they haven't even been tapped. With the right amount of investment, we can expand resource extraction, effectively fulfill rising demand and ensure long-term stability and profitability. But that requires us to be willing to take risks and weather the storm. Now that's a legacy worth striving for, wouldn't you agree? Chairman of Rizia, literally me for real, for real. Well, we are, well, to be fair, the Rizian stories on the next set of 3 games, so we've got space for one more, fellas. I'm intrigued by the untapped fields. What's the potential return if we invest in these new areas? Take that risk, Mr. Alfonso. What if the investment doesn't pay off as expected? Will the investment keep Gasson from having to downsize its operation? I've seen enough corporate bailouts and handouts to know that it's always big business that benefits while common people are left behind. Yeah, what's the potential returns? More water. With proper investment and development, we project extremely high returns in the first 5 years alone. The sound of sirens distracted us. Through the window, saw police cars driving down the street adjacent to Gasson Zone. We redirected our attention, and Elwold looked at me. Mr. Rain, the foundation for a robust partnership is right here. It's high time we shift our focus towards sealing this deal. If we raise a minority investment, it would allow us to invest in further resource extraction excavations in the gas fields and turn the company back to significant profitability. By significant, I mean our projections show we will be able to cover 80% of our gas needs in 3 years, and we would achieve profits 4 times the value of investment. An enticing proposition, however I would like to know more about the risks. If we are to invest in Gasson, I want to make sure the company is also committed to improving Narvel. Your projections are impressive, but we need to consider international markets as well. How do we plan to compete against other nations? There's a strong strategy in place. Our competitive edge lies in the quality and efficiency of our production. With this investment, we can further enhance our technologies and stay ahead of the competition. Rold and his team have been doing a hell of a job. Give them the right backing, and I reckon Gasson could give the big boys a run for their money. We just need to have a little faith. Mr. President, your administration commitment to market economy align with our vision for a competitive corporation. With a government investment, we can further liberalise the energy market, enhance our technologies, and compete globally. Thriving market economy is the engine of prosperity and innovation. I believe Gasson's potential to compete and succeed under these principles. I see potential for us to drive Sordland's energy independence, but we need to make sure this is a sustainable solution. Rizia's investment will reduce the risk for us, however we need to be carefully consider the implications of sharing control. I am heavily interested in the idea of investing locally, but we need concrete actions, not words. Yeah, go on, we'll invest, why not? I'm glad we see eye to eye on this. With your support, I'm confident that Gasson will be able to chart a prosperous future. Your words are reassuring, Mr. President. Let's harness the power of the free market to elevate Gasson and, in turn, the entire Sordish economy. If the Sordish government chooses to invest, It would gain a voice in the broader company decisions, even as a minority stakeholder. The government could either liquidate its shares at a future date or continue to reap a long-term profit. A beneficial arrangement for all parties. Harold walked back over the window, stood there silhouetted against the vast expanse of gas fields. After a moment, he turned back to face us. His gaze was steady, the expectation clear in his eyes. Time had come to make a decision. Well, Mr. President, will Gassom and Sordland make history or what? We're investing alone. Sordland will provide the majority funds. Tap Rizia to back off. We'll co-invest with Rizia. We won't invest this time. We'll invest with Rizia, just to keep it sensible. Joint investment? A wise choice. That ensures steady funds for Gassom. I like the way you're thinking, Mr. President. Sharing the cost with Rizia reduces our risk and strengthens our ties. It's a smart move. Before we dive into celebration, I've allocated this time during this meeting for President Rain to discuss any concerns regarding Gassom's treatment of its workers and effects on Narbel. The Labour Union, along with the Communist Party of Sordland, has rallied substantial support from Gassom workers in Narbel advocating for improved look and conditions. Alfonso nodded and looked at me. We need to address concerns that could jeopardise the administration. Our duty is to listen and take action. Gassom stands global energy powerhouse. It's the only right that they give back somewhat. We've covered a lot today. I believe we can wrap it up the meeting now. Yes, they could jeopardise the administration. Together we might discover solutions beneficial to both parties. Do you have a proposal in mind, Mr. President? Works to Gassom need better housing and access to healthcare, opportunities for education. As leading industry there, it can't ignore the responsibility. The wages of Gassom blue-collar workers need increasing. They're the backbone. I expect Gassom to contribute significantly to local charities. We've got a lot. Just raise the wages. I fully agree we must do more for our workers. Their welfare is the priority. I will ensure that we review their salaries and work toward providing them with competitive compensation immediately. I'm relieved to hear that fair wage is the least we can do to provide for hard-working people. We're on the same page here. Let's not lose sight as we move forward. Well, Mr. President, we're committed to... Suddenly the meeting was interrupted. A quiet murmur of conversation outside the room grew louder and was followed by footsteps. The private security team entered the room, his face taut with urgency. He approached Alfonso, leaning to whisper. Earl nodded, and his gaze met mine with serious intensity. Gentlemen, it seems we have an unexpected situation outside. Some protesters from the Labour Union have blocked the main vehicular exit. Katrina Horton and Dennis Staller seem to be leading the group. It will be difficult to leave the way we came in without causing trouble. Well, that's a pickle. What's our move, Ewald? I have a helicopter ready. We can leave undetected and avoid the chaos and potential danger. Helicopter might be safe, should face the crowd, is there no other way out? Trust me, I know this place well. The only other way out is through a dangerously hilly terrain or the sewers. Mr. President, I advise you leave via helicopter just in case. I can stay back and update the crowd on the discussions today. Serge walked in. Mr. President, I have discussed the situation with Presidential Guard and the police security. They're advising us not to go the way we came in. More police are on the way. Let's make a decision. Everyone waited. Tense silence of the room stood in stark contrast. The buzz of an ever-growing crowd outside. God damn it. What's my overview? Economy. State co-investor with Gassom. Yeah, that's good. That's a lot of red. Right. Word of caution. Co-investment by Gassom and Sordland and Rizia through marketed as a strategic venture necessitates cautious optimism due to Rizia's ties with Grace. What was Grace again? Right, just the bunch of monarchies. The immediate financial benefits are apparent, but the larger implications of allowing following influence over energy sector remain murky. Yeah, whatever. Innovative co-investment boom. Boost Gassom. Lovely. Risking sovereignty. Oh, I knew the friggin' fascists wouldn't like it. Right, what am I going to do? See, it's either a case of be a coward and fly with the helicopter or aura farm. I'm going to try aura farming and hope I don't die. Address the protesters and leave by a car. I bet everyone in chat's gonna say, "You're going to die." Oh. He stepped out of the towering front gate at the Gasson facility, and I immediately became aware of how tense the situation was. Manga stood to my right, his silhouette barely indistinguishable from the monolithic edifice behind us. Serge stood to my left, his eyes scanning the crowd with the precision of a hawk. The Gasson security had drawn their weapons in anticipation, forming a bristle wall around the perimeter. My presidential guards, in stark contrast, stood tall and unflinching at the entrance, shielding the sea of angry workers surrounding us. The shouts of the crowd were deafening, the hostility palpable. Starla and Horton stood at the forefront with fire in their eyes. Deep breaths, I prepared to address them. A true leader mogs the plebeian crowd. Here we go. This is all farming time, fellas. Gus extended a megaphone toward me. My fellow swords, we're here today not as adversaries but collaborators. Our purpose, to invest in Gasson and ensure it invests in you. Our working employees of Gasson, we stand with you today. Our shared goal is simple, to demand and improve living and working conditions for everyone. I'm here today to seek understanding and progress. We aim to bridge the gap. Before any of you do anything too rash, I want to take a good look around you. Yeah, I'll do the shared one. I don't really want to say to invest in Gasson. They're gonna get annoyed. Try to be like the Prussian king that didn't want to write a constitution to get a loan for railways. Well, here we go. We're not blind to your struggles. We seek to acknowledge them, address them, and improve them. It's not a hollow promise, but a step toward a stronger and more balanced Sordland. We're united by a common goal. A prosperous Gasson cares for its workers, and yeah, we seek to acknowledge, address, and improve your issues. Speeches and Russian. Oh, how do I do a Russian accent? Привет, давай. Speeches and more speeches from President Rain. But what exactly was decided today? We need more than pretty words. We need substance. She's right, Mr. President. We need details. What are you going to change for the workers? Now, hold on a moment. President Rain is committed to bringing about real change. His actions and decisions demonstrate this clearly, even if it doesn't fit your narrative. Is that so, Magna? All we hear are decisions that favor the likes of you and Alfonso, not the common worker. It is not about narratives, Mr. Manga. It is about ensuring a fair, dignified life for the workers, something your policies have consistently failed to do. Change is often slow and gradual. Not all solutions are as immediate and straightforward as you make them out. Dennis, the focus here is not on narratives or images or real tangible, but on real tangible changes. Progress, and we're on the right track. I understand your skepticism, but I assure you the administration is devoted to this, blah blah blah. You're an academic and lawyer, what do you really know about the struggles of the working class? Oh, do it. I know they deserve better than a president who put corporate interests over human well-being. Attacking Mr. Stammer's personal background accomplishes nothing, Mr. President. What do you have to say about the workers of this nation? And what about the recent campaign finance bill, Mr. President? It's a direct attack on democracy, effectively silencing smaller parties like ours. It's clear from your lack of commitment to education you don't fully comprehend the scope of challenges faced by our workers and families. You neglect our nation's healthcare system, and that will harm millions. Mr. President, we demand you support the upcoming Workers' Rights Bill. The labour force of Sordland will be watching your next moves closely. Furthermore, we want reform. Reduce the election threshold and change the constitution to make a more democratic and fairer nation. People of Sordland have elected me to lead. I believe it's crucial to trust government's judgment. Campaign financial bill ensures fair funding for democratically elected parties, not an attack on democracy. I hear your concerns. All the areas may not be our immediate focus. We're yet to finalise a budget, giving thoughtful consideration. Understand your concerns and frustrations. We're here, listening, committing to it. Oh god, I'm very starm of that. I've been elected to lead. It's crucial you trust the government's judgment on these times of crisis. Go a bit starmer. I hear you. Quiet murmurs of discontent begin to ripple through the crowd. Workers' face seem to turn even stonier. Could feel the tension growing. The presence of our guards did little to reassure me. Suddenly, a reporter pushed through the crowd, brandishing a microphone. The locals of Noble have suffered under your impact of Gasson for years. What concrete steps is Gaston going to take for the benefit of the local community? It's recognise the value and agree to increase their wages. Hard-working individuals are the backbone of the opera. That easy that one. A wage increase is not a mere possibility, but a fact. This is a landmark moment. Substantial. Yeah, that one, just that one. The air suddenly felt lighter. Murmurs of conversation started to percolate through the crowd, signs of animosity dwindling. Eventually, all fell silent as they waited for Dennis and Katrina to respond. Clearly set for £2. I give the VA a Mr. JC Denton in the fresh out of 10. I'm glad that you're enjoying the voice acting. So our blue-collar comrades are finally getting the attention they deserve, are they? I'll admit that's a step forward. But let's not forget, President Rain, that this is the only correcting a long-standing injustice. We will wait and see if they are empty promises or if you truly intend to uphold the rights of our working class. An increase in wages, finally! It is about time, Mr. President. While I appreciate this apparent commitment, let's not pat ourselves on the back just yet. Real success will be measured by the paychecks of the workers, not in the words spoken here today. A group of figures emerged from the crowd adorned in unmistakable scarlet attire, the Red Youth. The sight of them transported me back to my days among the young swords, when faced off with those clad in crimson were frequent. I realised it was no longer a mere protest, it was a symbol of a broader, more potent struggle. Police began reorganising ranks, adopting defensive postures. Could you shed some light on the possible deal between the Sordish government and Gaston? What does the Kingdom of Rizia play in this arrangement? Show the international cooperation, we're sharing the costs and stakes, this way reducing financial pressure and fostering international relationships. Sordland is renewing its ties with the Kingdom. Together will provide funding with gas on the workers' need. Yeah, I'll do that one. Make it more them. You're not good at talking to the people. I was trying to annoy the guy. I'm gonna be honest here. I was trying to trigger him. A partnership with Rizia. You are aware of the monarchy's history of stamping out disagreements with brute force. We will be watching this core investment closely. Your government will be responsible for keeping its partners' worst tendencies in check. Thereby, a quick, hushed conversation was being had between Gaston security officers and Presidential Guard. I followed the eyes to the protesters. Some had calmed down, others seemed agitated. Serge craned his neck, his face deep in concentration as he listened to the whispers. So the crowd is no longer entirely hostile, but still an undercurrent of tension. Might be a good time to make our way to the convoy before the potential escalation. Are you sure we weren't running away from this only make protesters angrier? Tensions can raise quickly in such environments. Yeah, we're not just annoying them. Mr. President, I'll stay on to further address the crowd. The mood is still tense, but I think I can manage. You should get on your way. I'm impressed you even came out to speak to us, President Rain. Most wouldn't. However, this conversation isn't over yet. We will hold you accountable to your promises. Troubles of the labourers continue and our union is here to solve them. I turned to the crowd one last time. In their eyes I saw both flashes of anger and glimmers of hope. The collective gaze bore into me, awaiting my words. I give myself a 7 out of 10 for that, you know? That's 50-50, that's good. Dialogue's only started, I assure you both. My commitment and progress to change is unwavering. Indeed, accountability is the cornerstone of democracy. Most will come out because most fear facing the truth. As for the conversation, it's always been going on. I'll go with that one. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I look forward to our continued conversations. Let's remember we're here for the same reason, better the lives of the citizens. Let's not allow our differences to blind us to our common goal. Path to progress is challenging and fraught with disagreement, but we must not let this divide us. Together we can ensure a prosperous future in Sordland. I'll just go with that one. The reporter jumped in. Can you clarify the current status of your personal relationship with our... No more questions, please. Mr. President, if you could please proceed to the vehicle. Serge opened the door of the car, lowered myself into the seat, and the door closed behind me with a thud, sealing off the external noise. As we started moving, some disgruntled protesters rushed towards us. I could hear shouts and jeers as the fist pounded against the glass window. Guards sprang to action and pushed them back. It was a tense few moments before the convoy was able to navigate away from the tumult. I'm glad we got out of there safely, Mr. President. In this role, danger comes with the territory. Your concerns appreciate. A little excitement to keep us on our toes, wasn't it? That's one way to look at it, Mr. President. Keeps the job interesting to say the least. The echoes of voices of protesters gradually subsided and we retreated to the scene and left Narwhal behind. I think that was alright. I'm not good at talking to the people. I just annoyed the guy once. Upholding workers' rights, cool. Rebel Mars president's address. Oh, it would do, wouldn't it? Better pay ahead, workers' salaries increase, reduce disruptions, undermining constructive dialogue. Yeah, true. True. Missed opportunity, President's address at Gasson. Go on, fascists, tell me what's wrong. The much anticipated address by President Anton Rain at the gates of Gasson fell short of expectation. Despite mounting concern of Gasson, workers and the people of Narbil, the President's speech was found in lacking substance and clarity. The address seemed to miss the mark, failing to address the pressing issues at hand effectively. Whatever. It's a delayed response. Go away. Acceptable but unremarkable. I'll take that. I've calmed the radicals down. I'll take it. Probably got time for this one. So, Stability Order of 1945. Okay, and then another conversation. An investigation on the influence of the Young Swords and Red Youth organisations on the post-assassination unrest have concluded. Now the youth group is officially organised or endorsed illegal action, but several low to mid-level leaders have both have links to inciting incidents that resulted in deaths, injuries and instability. This provides us with legal grounds to ban both organisations. So ban Young Swords, ban Red Youth, ban them both, don't ban either. Oh, I think it's a really bad idea if I ban them, to be honest. So my thinking here is, like, banning the Red Youth after I've just talked to them is pretty wild. Banning the Young Swords is ridiculous because I don't think they've done... Oh, no. Sorry, yeah, the guy shot the communist. If I ban them, that's possibly going to escalate tensions, which I don't particularly like, but at least I'm not picking a side. And if I don't ban them, it can be seen as I'm not really doing much. I mean, you know, when Palestine Action was considered terrorist, what really happened there? We're actually not seeing any more damage caused by them, you know, broken backs and all that. It's ban both or ban neither. Yeah, I agree, and I think I'm leaning towards don't ban either, because I think it's only going to lead to more instability if I do ban them, so... No news, no nothing. Oh no. You can track the economic stability and changes over time. So that was our crash. Oh, that ain't good. Well, we started off well. Best option, Grim. Yeah. Not ideal. Right. Finalisation of drastic constitutional changes. Grunnery. Oh yeah, I'll do this one actually. Propose the Assembly sustainable approach to Grunny. I'm vetoing that. I read that before. I don't want it. Veto on Green Bill, a misstep for Sordland. Green at vetoed, a pragmatic move. Well, the whole Sword Post enjoyed it. At least we've got tourism. God, I'm basically running Cuba. How big are these reports? Right. Repeal of the EPA. Legislation debating on repeal of the EPA. I was going to do that. Actually, I should probably read that properly. Go away. Despite strong advocacy for reformers and beyond, including within USP, blah blah blah. Remains in force, maintaining status quo, foreign ownership restrictions. Right, so they want more foreign ownership. No, thank you. Many members of the USP and the reformist wing of the party demand the government for the reforms. And he stated that without ministry reforms, they won't be able to stand behind a new reform pact. Right, I kind of get what they want. Right, let's take a look. Walking into my office since today was the day to edit and make the final changes for the proposed change for the Constitution. Reform Committee finally bore tangible results, and the drafts of the changes were about to be presented. I walked into the marble corridor of the palace, thinking about the huge decision I was going to take. At the entrance to my office, my secretary, Livia, greeted me. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning, Livia. How are you today, sir? Perfectly fine, about to make a stressful decision. Feel better now that I've seen you. Oh, I can be flirty. I'm perfectly fine. Good to hear. She paused before taking my coat. It looked like she had something on her mind. Mr. Rin, could you give me a hint about your reform plans? If you ask me, taking away the judge's immunity is long overdue, but it might anger a lot of people in these halls. I love the ambient music. Yeah, the music's good in this game. You'll find out with the rest of Sordland. I'll take it into consideration. Nothing's been decided. That's not... I'll take it into consideration. I hope you'll keep me informed. I'll take your coat now. Livia left to hang up my coat. I entered my office and sat down. Yes?
Sup, nerds? It's coming home, bitch.
Well, you were ill.
Yeah, I know. I was still watching the football, though. Like a real person.
How are you watching the football?
Online.
Oh, fair.
4-2 Croatia. Croatia's getting slammed.
Oh, we're winning?
Yeah, 4-2.
4-2?
Yeah, they just scored literally just now again.
We lost them 2-1 in 2018. In the final.
4-2.
Well, that's revenge.
You're gay, like, look at you all. You're all just sat here watching this shit when there's football on.
I barely even realised it was on, the football. Like,
It's the World Cup. Like, my entire internet threads is just videos about the UK taking over the US and they're not knowing what to do with themselves.
that has been very funny. I think
Scotland
out.
outdrank Boston.
Yeah.
In 24 hours.
I think the bars were saying this is more than we got on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. The Irish like a good drink.
The ultimate Scottish mog.
It's just all the videos of them jumping on the bar and that and singing Sweet Caroline. I just love it.
I know they've been banned from putting up signs saying Starmer is a nonce.
No, now they're just singing Starmer's a wanker instead.
Love to see it.
I love it, it's great. It's just really made me smile.
Well, might see if I can...
What the fuck is this?
It's called Suzerain, and I'm effectively... Well, at the moment I'm sort of playing President of Cuba, but not Cuba. It's quite interesting.
Is it, Jack? Is it really?
They're enjoying it. See, 6 viewers, that's more than I usually get.
Do you mean like a real person? Like, you guys are watching this and it's football's on?
You know, I had to tell Sarah that, like, football is basically a religion in Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm glad we're winning 4-2.
What are you doing?
When is the England game after this?
Ugh.
I should probably watch the Scottish ones too, given I'm, like, actually Scottish.
Someone clip that.
Not actually English, huh? You nerd. Ugh. But I do a lot of talking in this
4-2.
one.
So yeah.
4-2. Well, it might be 5-2 now. Hopefully.
I doubt it.
2. I wish we won 4-2.
They were drawing and then they've come back with 2 goals after half time. So.
Oh, he needs treats.
Oh, Titan! What the heck? His little belly just grumble, grumble, grumble.
I don't know why it's grumbling. He was fed again.
Yeah, he has 2 feeds a day,
He's
and
so
he has
greedy.
his carrots and he likes his feet before bed.
I didn't watch football, and I'm real person adjacent.
Yeah, you're probably single too. That's why you're doing this shit.
Grim, he's married.
Well, your wife's bored of you. I'm sorry to tell you.
To be fair to Sarah, he's been up since 6:30, so he's probably quite tired. And Grim says he's not a real person. Possibly true. Dead internet theory.
Oh, Titan! Oh, this is Titan! Did you tell Sarah that Titan had his birthday the other day?
No.
And he turned 13.
Yes, Tyson is 13.
And he had a steak dinner.
And he did have a steak dinner. It was very good, and he enjoyed the broccoli.
Yeah, he ate the broccoli first, then the steak.
He is.
Whereas Luna ate the steak first, then.
We've got weird dogs.
Just a baby, aren't you?
He's got really soft fur again.
Oh, he's just a baby.
Yeah. I was driving since 6:30. There you go. Sarah's had a very busy day. I know you've come in and called me a weirdo. How do you feel?
Not asked, mate.
Yeah, I'm not. You're mean.
Not asked, mate. Not asked.
Look at this boy. It's a shame that people in the stream can't see him, but he is very cute.
I was going to say, it's coming out.
It's coming
in, mate.
It's coming.
It's probably not, though. That's
Football's
nice.
coming. If it comes home this time, we can count it as yet another war we won against America. Steak dinner well deserved. What type of steak? The cheapest one we could find. It was for the dogs.
It was a rump, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Tesco rump that was on offer at like £3 or something. Which is pretty good for a steak.
Oh, look at him. He's so floofy. Like a little ball cloud.
I'm sitting with Luna in the garden. And
with his Luna?
Yeah. He's got a different Luna.
I know.
There's also a German Shepherd.
I know.
Yeah, but the rest of the stream don't know.
Well, why aren't they in the little weird Discord?
I don't know. Maybe they should join the Discord. Semi-final last time, wasn't it? Final this time, and win next time. There you go, you got it. I'm sure we got to the final of the 2018 Euros, because that will have been Euros. We had Euros the same year as the Olympics.
Yeah, I think it was with Italy, and I won the sweepstake.
Damn, there you go. No, that's wait, no. Olympics are this year? 2024? When was the last 2012 Olympics? No, it's when it's divisible by 4, yeah. Yeah, we'll have Olympics. No, we won't have Olympics this year. I'm wrong, it was 2 years ago. Yeah. Sorry, I'm very confused.
When Charlotte Dujardin got disqualified.
Oh, the horse thing.
Yes.
She got disqualified for using a whip on a horse.
Yes.
That's stupid.
Well, no, it's not stupid. Her technique was stupid.
Right. I shouldn't get banned for that. Wasn't it
well, my thing is, though, it didn't directly affect the Olympics, and it was done years prior, so I don't know. I don't know. Still think she's still wrong, and she knows she's wrong, so.
Did you cook it rare, or did you
They have to do it well done, otherwise they get sick.
I had to cook it into carpet, and I didn't even season it. They're dogs. You know, they enjoyed it.
He's very upset about this. He's just walked away now. He's like, oh, just a dog, am I?
You are just a dog.
No, Titan, you're just a baby. Come here, my baby. Come on, my little sweet baby. Oh, that's my good boy. That's my good boy. I'm his favourite. Yeah, I'm your favourite. Yeah.
Oh, goodness
Such a
me.
good boy. No, you can't. Oh, no.
Not raw. You can't give dogs raw meat, apparently.
Well, you can.
Oh.
But he's got a really sensitive stomach, so I had to make sure it was done well done. She's such a little baby. It's only just like when he was a puppy, he wasn't allowed to eat meat for 2-3 years because of his stomach. It's just a poorly.
And then he just had a load of chicken.
He used to love Skittles.
Skittles?
He loves Skittles. Oh yeah, he loves Skittles.
No wonder he looks so. No wonder he's so hyper all the time. He was on a diet of Skittles for 3 years.
No, he used to sneak them off me.
Yeah.
Hi, Luna.
Oh, Luna's here. Remember, they both have earned a tweet. That's a very big yawn.
I'm so tired.
I'm actually amazed we haven't lost viewers over this. they all just want to hear us talking.
My doggies are so cute.
They are cute. Not allowed for 2 to 3 years, poor thing. What did he eat? Like veg?
Yeah, he was on veg and rice.
There you go.
It wasn't like he wasn't allowed, it was the fact that his stomach couldn't take it.
I was told you can't give them cooked meat. You can definitely give dogs cooked meat.
You can, but it has to be done done. When he was little, he used to have a chicken. That was the only thing he could tolerate, so I used to cook him a chicken every week.
I can hear the dogs.
Hi, puppy. Hey, Nunu.
If you take them stairs, people might hear them howl, but don't do it near the microphone because it'll blow their eardrums out.
Oh, Nunu, you okay?
She's sniffing out under that.
Good shit, you bum. Juicy. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nunu. Wanna sing? Wanna sing a song? Wanna sing a song with your people?
Not even sure what was that? Skittles, Steve Irwin is doing spins in the Mariana Trench. Oh, he's not buried there.
Listen. You should have been able to dodge that stingray.
It is a shame that he wasn't killed by a cooler animal. It has to be said.
It's kind of gay, really, isn't it?
I won't go that far, boys. Woof dogs.
I don't know. I've spoken to a few Aussies and they really don't like him.
What, Steve Irwin?
Yeah.
Why?
They just said that he's dumb, like, puts himself
Well, he
in
did get
danger
killed.
and... No, but, like, he just sort of, like, tries to glorify being close to fucking extremely dangerous animals.
How's that any different to doing any dangerous stuff?
I don't fucking know. All people are idiots. That's why women live longer. Men just usually fuck up like that.
We just had to listen to a massive feminist in this game, babe. Like, come on. Give us a break. Men are idiots. We get it. We just enjoy
Alright, you're gonna
dangerous
drone
things.
on as long as your fucking hairline goes back.
Is that any need? Jesus Christ. Why? Why would you do this? Can you get me some more water?
No!
Please?
Drown!
Yeah,
Spit.
ideally, yes, please. No. Oh.
Well, I didn't expect this to be actually...
There was a bit of water in there, so I've just had a bit of water put on my hair, so thank you for that. Ugh. Stingray mocked his Crocs. Tash will probably like that one. Oh, goodness me. Thank you. Why would you even joke about that?
Because it's just funny, isn't it?
Anyway, Dead End Satellite said the Stingray mocked the Crocs. And he might be right. What?
You've actually gained more viewers since I've been here.
I know, it's pretty amazing. Dude, we're not carrying on with
And I'm not
the
even
reform
showing my
chat.
tits. How's this work?
Was Islam right about women? Someone's asking a very serious question there.
I'm not allowed to respond with the answer I want to give on live.
Okay, that's fair. Be careful she doesn't give you the dog's water bowl. Oh god, that's a possibility.
How do you not know that I didn't pour it from the dog's water bowl?
That's what I mean. Did you do that?
I got Titan and Luna to lick the rim of the cup.
Nice.
Look at him, he's so cute! Titan, would you like to give your advice? Like to say something?
I'm not sure if they can hear him like breathing.
Can you go?
No, I don't think they can.
Can you go?
Unfortunately, you don't really woof unless you hear someone outside.
Titan postman.
He's not going to react like that, is he?
No, move on. What's up? What's up? What?
It's because I've said the T word like 3 times
my
and you've still not
goodness.
given them one.
Uni, do you want a treat? I want a treat from the jar. Would you like
They're
a treat
going
from
nuts.
the jar? Do you want a treat from the jar? Want a treat? Say yes. Say yes. No, say treat from the jar. Yes.
Treat?
Do
Do you want a treat?
you? Do you?
There we go. There we go.
Right, see you later.
Bye bye. We can now get back to the silly voices. 2 women talking on stream usually does better than what? Right, ban portrait seal Cero. Right, not long after Peter, Lucian and Nia arrived. Good morning, everyone. Hi, everybody. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning. Time to finally get this proposal going. Peter placed a draft in front of me. After your modifications, we will be starting the process. Let's start. I can hear their collars. After placing the committee report on my own notes in front of me, I buried myself in papers. Presidential veto. So according to Articles 77 and 82, President may veto a bill by returning it to the Assembly with a written statement. The articles do not contain any information on how to override a veto. As a consequence, the President has an absolute veto power that cannot be overridden with a supermajority in Sordland, so select one of the following. So either remove the veto or limit the veto, and a 3/5 majority can override. I think that's more fair. I think it makes sense to keep a presidential veto. Right, remove Supreme Court's voting rights. Well, I just don't have a thing on that. Yeah, that's all I can do for that one. According to Article 17, the President of Sordland is not responsible for the actions performed in the exercise of presidential duties, except in the case of high treason or violation of the Constitution. In such cases, the President may be impeached by the Supreme Court in a joint session with an absolute majority of its members. Therefore, the impeachment process only includes the Supreme Court and gives them the power to override. The Assembly and Supreme Court may impeach with majority in both. The President may not be impeached, do not change. Yeah, I think giving the Assembly the chance to keep the President makes a bit of sense. I'm not too bothered about that one, I think that's fine. According to the Constitution, the President appoints the ministers to the Council of Ministers from elected members of the Assembly. We may introduce a confidence vote by adding the line, the President may nominate ministers, which will require a confidence vote from the Grand National Assembly for the appointment, or include the Assembly more in the process, with the Grand National Assembly may nominate a list of ministers, which the President may appoint. I am not changing any of this. Well, confidence vote required? I guess we already kind of have that in Parliament. But that's with the first past the post system. Honestly, I wouldn't change this, and I think it's stupid. Like, I'm the President, I should obviously appoint my own ministers. Just makes sense. On to Article 50, a political party needs a minimum of 10% of the national vote to win seats in the Grand National Assembly. The votes of the parties who pass the threshold are redistributed proportionally, meaning USP, which currently holds the lead, would be the main beneficiary. Decreasing the threshold may allow the Workers' Party of Bloodier and the Communist Party to be elected in the next elections. Don't change or decrease the threshold. I just wouldn't change it. Don't want the communists in there. According to Article 18 and 51, the President is able to issue a decree on political, social and economic issues that would carry the force of law. They could not contradict the Constitution and are subject to judicial review. Therefore, the President may issue decrees in many subjects without going through the Grand National Assembly. However, the Assembly may pass legislation on the same subjects to override the presidential decrees. We may include the Assembly in the process by requiring an enabling act from the Assembly to be able to enact decrees or remove them completely, making the Assembly the sole lawmaker authority. The President is able to issue decrees on political, social and economic issues that carry the force of law, but can't constitute. Right. The President may issue decrees that may, without going through the Assembly, pass legislation on the same subject to override presidential decrees. We may include the Assembly in the process by requiring the Enabling Act from the Assembly to be able to enact decrees or remove them completely, making the Assembly the sole lawmaking authority. Guess we'll do the Enabling Act. According to the Constitution, President shall be elected to serve for 4 years. There is no mention of a term limit, allowing one individual to be able to run and be elected without limit. Oh god, that's fine, yeah. The Constitution gives the Justice of the Supreme Court absolute immunity before the law and describes no procedure of impeachment, making them untouchable by other branches of government. We may describe an impeachment procedure by giving the Grand National Assembly the right to propose an impeachment of a justice on the legal grounds of unconstitutional behaviour. Justices may be impeached by the Assembly. I think I'm going to go stupid and American and maybe have a separation of powers here. Like, at the end of the day, you know, if the Supreme Justices go nuts, you just have violence. Member of Honour rights of Tarkin Sol. Article 99 of the Constitution defines the Member of Honour title and the rights their members may exercise. Member of Honour has absolute immunity and is considered to be a permanent member of the Grand National Assembly. They are given control of their own personal security team, provided the state's presidential guards. A member is also eligible to live in a special private residence provided by the state for free. The only person who holds the title is Tarkin Sol. Abolished, every president becomes a Member of Honour after their service. Remove the immunity of the Member of Honour. Probably abolish that. Why the hell would I keep that? After I made the final changes, I showed that to my team. They read the changes and discussed. Lucian spoke. Looks like the amendments are ready to be proposed. But I have to say this too. Not reforming the minister laws will be frowned upon by the party. Assembly members have insisted on getting involved in the process. That's true, it will be tough to get all of their support. Some of our members may try and openly fight against it. Well, I'll have to make sure they follow me then. We'll do our best to make it work. Any other comments? I don't think we have any problems with the changes. Neither. Looks like we can proceed immediately. I will personally work on the wording of this proposal with my hand-picked legal experts. A judge can be impeached in the US, it just never happened, but it can. Fair. With Miss Morgan's reputation as the most experienced attorney, this proposal will be bulletproof. Chief Justice also will have a hard time convincing others to oppose it. In the meantime, you must introduce the proposal to our party. You will need to get them. To back us if we want to pass the assembly. So I advise you first talk to the leaders of both conservative and reformist wings of the party. As far as I'm aware, Mr. Calvin, supporters of the reforms already, Mrs. Tory will be the real problem. She became a real heavyweight after we left for the executive. Any advice in regards to dealing with them? Any advice for the speech? You're pretty well versed in speeches. You know the party, just make sure you get them hyped up around the reforms. And don't show weakness. You must also be prepared to reconsider the proposal if it comes to that. Thank you for the advice. We wish you good luck with the party, sir. I think we can end the meeting. Well, I think with that we have gone 11. So I might leave it there because my throat hurts. Right, EPA's potential, annual Benfi Festival, and Richter's victory over Rain. Our source informed us that the plan is underway for the government to draft the reform package. Yeah, but I've, not given them everything, have I? With Business Council members, eh? Oh, and the Energy Protection Act. No, I think with that we will leave it there, fellas. So I hope you all very much enjoyed watching this, and I hope you enjoyed the slight fun we had with Tash coming in to interrupt. She might do that again, but I can't do silly voice in front of her because I will get absolutely battered. I have to say my throat is hurting. I do actually need it for work tomorrow, so there you go. With that, thank you very much for the super chats, especially you, Cero. I have Mankind Divided on the list for the next set of games, along with Rizia. So that'll be a fun too. But basically, and I wouldn't be shocked if like the third game's Dishonored or something. So there we go. With that though, do like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this set of streams because it's in a playlist with anyone you think will care. And well, don't think we're going to have a good Friday, to be honest, fellas, but we'll live with what we've got. With that, though, I'll leave it there. So, thank you all very much.